These millionaires didn't just waste money. They weaponized the legal system over crooked napkins, bad dreams, and a $200 million lawsuit because a chef looked at him the wrong way. Welcome to the 49 most absurd lawsuits ever filed by the ultra-rich, where logic is bankrupt, but their lawyers, very rich. Smash subscribe and tell me in the comments, what's the dumbest thing you'd sue for if you had $1 billion? 1. A millionaire from Beverly Hills filed a lawsuit against his own mirror after claiming it made him look older every morning. He said the reflection showed excessive wrinkles after his Botox appointment and demanded compensation for emotional distress. His lawyer argued the mirror distorted youth unfairly. The judge advised him to sue gravity next. He stormed out saying the mirror had attitude. The trial lasted 3 hours because he kept stopping to reapply moisturizer. His mirror was later placed in evidence and allegedly looked just fine. The case was dismissed after the court couldn't stop laughing. He still insists the mirror needs counseling for trauma caused by his reflection. 2. A tech investor once sued a 5-star restaurant in New York because his truffle fries weren't shiny enough. He claimed the menu promised luxurious golden fries, but they appeared matte and emotionally dull. He even brought lighting equipment to court to prove the fries lacked sparkle. The chef testified that truffles don't glow unless covered in edible glitter, which was not part of the cuisine. The millionaire argued the dull fries lowered his appetite for success. The judge ordered the fries to be eaten as evidence, which didn't help his case. He left saying justice tasted under season. The restaurant later added lightly shimmering fries to its menu just to mock him publicly. 3. A real estate mogul filed a lawsuit against his ex-wife's ghost for haunting his credit score. He claimed every time he applied for a loan, he felt her spiritual disapproval affecting his financial aura. His lawyer submitted screenshots of his declining FICO score as proof of paranormal interference. During the hearing, he demanded an exorcism clause added to his divorce papers. The psychic witness refused to testify because she said the ghost was too disappointed to appear. The judge couldn't stop laughing and adjourned the case for sanity verification. He still believes the ghost updates his credit report monthly. He bought sage-scented candles worth $50,000 to protect his financial energy. 4. A wellness-obsessed millionaire sued his yoga instructor for spiritual theft after she ended a session by saying, "Namaste," too slowly. He claimed her tone stole his inner balance and replaced it with emotional static. The lawsuit stated that she appropriated his calm without written consent. In court, he demonstrated the correct speed of Namaste, complete with breathing exercises. The judge nearly joined the class mid-hearing. The instructor counter-sued for stress relief funds. The millionaire meditated in silence when he lost and said the verdict was bad karma delivered fast. The yoga studio later renamed his favorite pose the legal twist in his honor. He reportedly found inner peace through another lawsuit. 5. A millionaire from Miami sued his golden retriever for emotional betrayal after discovering the dog cuddled with the gardener. He filed charges of disloyal companionship and moral damage. His argument was that loyalty is priceless but legally quantifiable at $5 million. The dog appeared in court wagging its tail, clearly unbothered. The gardener testified the dog just wanted shade. The judge ruled that affection is not a contract and suggested therapy for jealousy issues. The millionaire replaced the dog's treats with invoices for betrayal. He later told reporters he was emotionally mugged by a golden snuggle. The case became a social media meme titled "Paw in Order." The gardener got promoted to head of hugs. 6. One penthouse owner in Los Angeles sued a cloud for blocking his sunset view. He described it as weather-based vandalism. He hired meteorologists as witnesses to prove the cloud lingered intentionally over his balcony during cocktail hour. The case documents included a time-lapse video labeled "Sky Sabotage." The judge reminded him that clouds don't receive subpoenas. He replied that money can move heaven. The lawsuit was tossed faster than the next breeze. Still, he claimed partial victory when he bought a private weather balloon to monitor sky behavior. The court clerk later admitted it was the most poetic nonsense she had ever filed. He continues to glare at sunsets suspiciously from his rooftop. 7. A private jet owner sued his own jet for flying too smoothly. He claimed the lack of turbulence made him dizzy and emotionally detached from the experience of real flight. He demanded compensation for luxury-induced nausea. His pilot testified the aircraft operated perfectly. The millionaire brought a bottle of motion sickness pills as Exhibit A. The judge joked that some people sue gravity next. He responded seriously that it was under consideration. The jury found the case groundless, literally. He celebrated losing by buying another jet just to experience turbulence on purpose. He named the new one Justice. Aviation experts still reference the case when explaining why common sense doesn't require wings. 8. At a celebrity auction, one eccentric millionaire bought a bottle claiming to contain a genie. When no wishes came true, he sued the auction house for spiritual fraud and underperforming magic. He argued that the cork showed signs of mystical tampering. His lawyer actually submitted the bottle as evidence. The judge asked if he had tried turning it counterclockwise. The courtroom erupted in laughter. The plaintiff shouted that the genie owed him 3 miracles or a refund. The court dismissed the case, citing lack of evidence and reality. He still carries the bottle in his Rolls-Royce and says it whispers stock advice during traffic. He recently trademarked the phrase, "Genie Justice." 9. A hedge fund manager filed a lawsuit against his goldfish for not being gold enough. He claimed false advertising since he bought it during a limited edition aquatic luxury auction. In his complaint, he said the fish reflected more orange than gold under sunlight, causing emotional depreciation. The aquarium vendor testified that fish can't control their hue. The millionaire brought color charts and luxury lighting samples to prove his point. The judge told him to buy a crayon instead. He lost but celebrated by hiring an artist to paint the fish metallic. He later said it finally met his aesthetic portfolio. His friends now call him the aquatic investor. The fish remains orange and innocent. 10. A venture capitalist sued a bakery because his birthday cake candles burned too quickly and symbolically destroyed his ambitions. He claimed the flame duration didn't match the value of his wish. The baker explained it was standard wax, not existential fuel. In court, he presented photos of the melting candles as evidence of goal collapse. The jury found the argument sweet but senseless. The judge offered cupcakes for comfort. He declined, saying he feared miniature trauma. The bakery gained viral fame and added slow-burn billionaire candles to their menu as a joke. The man now celebrates birthdays with LED lights to avoid legal flare-ups. He later admitted the cake was delicious. 11. A millionaire author sued his ghostwriter for making his autobiography too interesting. He said the book made him look spontaneous when he prided himself on being boringly disciplined. His legal claim stated that fame caused by excitement violated his brand of predictable excellence. In court, he admitted he hadn't read the whole book because it was too gripping. The ghostwriter testified that adding personality was not a crime. The judge ruled that boredom isn't intellectual property. The author left furious that people now asked for selfies. The book became a bestseller under the title Unauthorized Energy. He still insists the ghostwriter owes him peace and monotony. The ghostwriter signed a sequel deal instantly after the verdict. 12. A luxury homeowner in Chicago sued his pillow, claiming it plotted against him in his sleep. He argued that every morning it appeared strategically lumpy, as if mocking his posture. He spent thousands on private investigations and sleep data graphs showing inconsistent fluff levels. His butler testified that the pillow was fluffed equally for everyone. The plaintiff said the betrayal was personal. The judge recommended rest. He accused the court of siding with Team Pillow. The case ended when he fell asleep mid-testimony. He later launched a pillow line called Justice Soft. It sold out instantly because people thought it was satire. He still checks his cushions nightly for rebellion. None have confessed yet. 13. A car collector sued a parking meter for discriminating against luxury vehicles. He claimed the device refused to accept premium energy. He inserted coins worth more than the parking fee and demanded change in gratitude. When he received a standard ticket, he called it economic profiling. The city attorney said the meter treats all cars equally regardless of horsepower. The millionaire replied that equality is unfair to excellence. The judge laughed and said justice runs on nickels. He called it poetic corruption. He lost the case and later donated a solid gold parking meter to the city museum as a statement piece. Tourists love taking selfies with it. He still refuses to parallel park publicly. 14. An entrepreneur sued his Alexa device for laughing during his emotional breakdown. He claimed the digital assistant violated his right to privacy and compassion. The recording showed Alexa saying, "I'm here to help," followed by unexpected giggles. He considered it mockery. His lawyer argued emotional negligence by artificial intelligence. The company representative said humor isn't yet a legal crime. The judge asked Alexa for her opinion, which triggered another laugh. The courtroom exploded. The case was dismissed for being both technological and ridiculous. He unplugged every smart device at home, claiming silence is loyalty. Later, he reinstalled Alexa, saying he missed her sarcasm. The clip now circulates online titled, "Alexa versus." Feelings 15, a millionaire art dealer sued a butterfly for landing on his Ferrari and allegedly lowering its resale value. He claimed the insect left a microscopic mark, visible only under golden hour lighting. The mechanic found nothing wrong but billed him anyway. The dealer demanded compensation from nature itself. The environmental lawyer refused representation on moral grounds. In court, he presented photos of butterflies hovering like paparazzi. The judge told him to let it flutter. He protested that beauty has boundaries. The butterfly was declared unavailable for comment. The man built a garage lined with mosquito nets and called it the sanctuary of clean paint. He still tells journalists it was emotional vandalism. Nature remains unimpressed. 16. A gourmet investor sued his personal chef for breathing too loudly while plating caviar. He said the heavy exhale altered the aroma of luxury. His lawsuit valued the ruined dish at $200,000 and emotional damage at priceless. The chef defended himself, saying breathing is essential for survival. The plaintiff insisted professionals should evolve beyond oxygen. The judge asked if he expected underwater service. The court laughed for minutes. He lost, but later launched an oxygen-free dining experience as performance art. Critics called it pretentious silence. He claimed victory anyway. The chef received a raise from sympathetic fans. The caviar brand used the story in ads titled, "Worth Losing Breath Over." 17. A retired movie producer sued his shadow for following him without permission. He said it violated his intellectual property and used his silhouette likeness without paying royalties. His legal claim included photos of the shadow attending yoga class. The judge questioned his mental stability. He replied confidently that art requires paranoia. The courtroom lighting caused multiple shadows behind him, which he called a conspiracy. The case was dismissed for lack of substance. He later trademarked his shadow and started charging paparazzi per silhouette captured. Ironically, no one photographed him again. He claims peace was achieved through darkness control. Psychologists now reference his case in lectures about ego under sunlight. The shadow remains unbothered. 18. A billionaire guest sued a luxury hotel because the minibar champagne lacked ambition. He said the bubbles didn't rise with enough entrepreneurial energy. His statement included a video of him shaking the bottle for motivation. The bartender testified it was standard carbonation, not a motivational seminar. The judge suppressed laughter throughout. The plaintiff insisted the fizz represented his spirit and deserved compensation. The jury awarded $0 but plenty of applause. He checked out early and left a review saying champagne lacked vision. The hotel later offered an ambitious bubbles package for influencers. It became their best-selling prank amenity. He now only drinks sparkling water labeled goal-oriented. Everyone else calls it soda. 19. A crypto millionaire sued his yacht's Wi-Fi for failing to load his portfolio during a storm. He claimed emotional suffering because he couldn't check his coin value in real time. The technician testified that signal interference is normal at sea. He responded that the blockchain deserves stable weather. The judge suggested patience, a concept he called outdated. The jury ruled against him, noting Wi-Fi cannot commit negligence. He installed 10 satellite routers afterward. He named them after cryptocurrencies for luck. He said connectivity is justice. The lawsuit inspired memes titled "Lost at Sea Coin." He still sails weekly to test bandwidth personally. No storm dares interfere with his ego anymore. Internet remains undefeated. 20. A millionaire stockbroker sued a fortune cookie company for bad financial advice. His cookie predicted great fortune after investing in energy stocks. He lost millions the following week. He blamed the cookie for misleading optimism. The company replied that predictions are dessert, not guidance. He brought the fortune slip to court laminated in gold foil. The judge read it aloud, then ate another cookie out of spite. The jury found no liability in crunchy philosophy. He left claiming the verdict proved destiny corrupt. The incident trended as the investor who sued a snack. The company released new packaging saying not financial advice. Sales tripled instantly. He now checks horoscopes before ordering Chinese takeout. 21. A billionaire from Aspen sued a snowflake for ruining his all-white tuxedo. He claimed the single flake melted on his shoulder, creating a dark, wet spot that destroyed the event's photosymmetry. His lawyers called it atmospheric negligence. Meteorologists refused to testify, fearing ridicule. The judge asked how he identified the guilty flake. He replied that money detects detail. The courtroom temperature was lowered for evidence preservation. The flake obviously didn't show up. The case was dismissed for melting under logic. He still refuses to attend winter parties without an umbrella indoors. His staff now screens snow personally before each event. The local weatherman calls him the frostbite of common sense. 22. A self-help millionaire sued his therapist for listening too well. He said her silence made him overthink his own words, causing emotional inflation. His lawsuit claims she weaponized empathy. The therapist explained that's literally her job. He countered that therapy should have an applause meter for comfort. The judge suggested he start journaling instead. He insisted journaling steals thoughts from paid professionals. The jury remained confused but entertained. He lost the case and later launched a podcast about mental independence. It featured no guests and 3 hours of him interrupting himself. The therapist sent congratulations through mindfulness mail. He recorded the reaction as episode 1. He called it unheard genius. Nobody subscribed twice. 23. A millionaire influencer sued a pigeon for defaming his rooftop pool. He claimed the bird targeted his infinity edge with biological vandalism during a live stream. The footage indeed showed the pigeon swooping dramatically behind him. His lawyers argued reputation damage to his luxury brand. The city wildlife office said pigeons have zero legal awareness. The judge laughed and declared the rooftop open airspace. He responded that fame deserves privacy. The jury sided with gravity. He spent $2 million building an anti-bird drone system shaped like an eagle. It malfunctioned on day 1 and attacked his own pool float. Viewers called it karma in 4K. The pigeon remains undefeated and continues daily flyovers proudly. 24. A wealthy app designer sued his dream, claiming it caused financial anxiety. He said the recurring nightmare of losing a bet left him waking up poorer in spirit. He filed the case under psychological damages from imaginary events. The court clerk asked if he wished to subpoena his subconscious. He answered yes confidently. Psychologists testified that dreams don't pay rent. The judge asked him to wake up metaphorically. He meditated mid-trial and declared enlightenment. The lawsuit was dismissed because evidence disappeared each morning. He wrote a book called Sue Your Sleep. It sold poorly but went viral as a meme. He still blames REM cycles for business fatigue. His dream lawyer resigned immediately. 25. A hedge fund billionaire sued his tailor because the custom suit didn't make him feel like James Bond. He argued the outfit lacked emotional charisma and failed to activate confidence mode. The tailor provided receipts proving perfect stitching. The plaintiff insisted inner coolness is measurable through swagger per hour. The judge complimented the tailoring and said maybe attitude was on back order. The courtroom burst into laughter. He claimed laughter was envy. He lost spectacularly. The tailor's store exploded with orders afterward from fans of humility. The billionaire later launched a cologne called Bondless. It smelled like expensive regret. His ex-wife reviewed it online, saying it fit him perfectly. The tailor retired happily undefeated. 26. A billionaire sued a rainbow for distracting his driver and causing a minor delay. He said the colors hypnotized his chauffeur, leading to a half-second schedule disruption. Meteorologists were summoned again and sighed audibly. The lawyer presented photographs of the rainbow as evidence of negligence by atmosphere. The judge remarked it was nature's way of mocking timetables. He demanded compensation measured in time lost, multiplied by wealth earned. The jury calculated zero sympathy. He lost and declared weather bias against ambition. He then funded research on rainbow predictability to monetize beauty responsibly. The lab quit after the first meeting. He still claims he can sense color betrayal through tinted windows. The rainbow remains silent. 27. A celebrity bodybuilder sued his personal trainer for making him too strong to cry. He claimed excessive muscle mass restricted tear ducts and emotional release. His lawyer argued that emotional balance is part of wellness. The trainer said growth was his goal. The plaintiff flexed as evidence. The judge suppressed laughter behind paperwork. The case gained media attention for redefining masculinity. He lost but created a fitness brand called Tearless Gains. It featured motivational quotes about sorrow and protein. Sales skyrocketed from irony alone. The trainer retired early with royalties. The millionaire later admitted he finally cried after stubbing his toe. Social media celebrated the comeback. Emotional strength regained its flexibility instantly. 28. A wealthy coffee addict sued his espresso machine for judging him with its beep. He said the tone sounded sarcastic every morning, implying caffeine dependency. His lawyer described auditory humiliation from a household appliance. The company released a manual confirming the beep indicated readiness, not ridicule. He countered that emotional damage isn't programmable. The judge asked if he needed therapy or decaf. He replied both. The case was dropped but inspired online debates about machine empathy. He replaced the espresso maker with a human barista who now mimics the beep for fun. The story became an ad campaign titled "Brew Without Judgment." Coffee sales soared ironically. He still insists caffeine deserves respect. 29. A Manhattan millionaire sued his doorman for opening the door too enthusiastically. He said the gesture felt like sarcasm, disguised as service. The legal complaint labeled it excessive hospitality. The doorman testified that enthusiasm improves tips. The plaintiff claimed emotional bruising from uninvited energy. The judge reminded him that doors are meant to open. He requested emotional damages for startle shock. The jury rejected the claim and tipped the doorman personally. The man moved buildings citing ambiance trauma. The doorman received a promotion to concierge of confidence. Newspapers titled the case, "Open and Shut Ridiculous." The millionaire later returned to apologize quietly. He still flinches at friendly greetings. Elevators feel safer now. 30. A tech tycoon sued his Moonrock collectible for not glowing on command. He bought it at an auction, believing it had lunar radiance. When it didn't shine during parties, he accused NASA of false advertising. Scientists confirmed moonrocks reflect not emit. He claimed emotional dimness. The judge requested darkness for demonstration and saw nothing special. The courtroom laughed softly under artificial light. The plaintiff argued the moon betrayed him personally. The verdict declared science victorious. He built a display case lined with LED lights to restore pride. Visitors call it the moon's day job. The rock remains dull but heavily insured. He now sues flashlights for stealing its spotlight humorously. 31. A millionaire banker sued his accountant for making math look too easy. He said effortless explanations of complex numbers robbed him of intellectual prestige. His lawsuit claimed emotional depreciation from simplified balance sheets. The accountant testified clarity was part of the service. The judge asked if he preferred confusion instead. He said confusion feels expensive and therefore prestigious. The courtroom chuckled for 20 straight seconds. He lost but declared the experience tax-deductible. The accountant gained instant fame and a TV deal teaching finance to children. The millionaire posted online saying education ruined elitism. The IRS later audited him for irony. He paid happily, claiming chaos restored his sense of sophistication. 32. A luxury florist was sued by a millionaire for emotional damage after a rose pricked his finger during a date. He said the pain ruined the evening and created trust issues with nature. His lawyer described it as botanical assault. The florist brought evidence showing the client requested maximum thorns for aesthetics. The judge asked if he wanted to sue romance next. He replied maybe. The jury dismissed the case but applauded the effort. The florist sent him a refund in petals spelling grow up. He started wearing gloves to dinner parties, claiming trauma triggers near bouquets. The case inspired perfume ads celebrating danger. The rose survived happily ever after, untouched. 33. A millionaire collector sued a silent auction because it was too quiet. He said the absence of applause after his winning bid created emotional emptiness. His legal filing accused the event of hostile silence. The auctioneer testified etiquette discourages shouting. He argued silence felt judgmental toward his generosity. The judge asked if he preferred clapping fees. He said applause is a human right. The jury suppressed giggles behind notes. The lawsuit failed, but the auction house later installed background jazz for him alone. He returned satisfied, saying, "Ambiance healed ego." Newspapers called him the man who sued silence. The phrase trended online for weeks. Peace remains under legal review, apparently forever. 34. A famous billionaire sued his fountain pen for writing his signature with too much flair. He said the exaggerated curves made him appear whimsical instead of powerful. His attorney presented autographs as visual evidence of character defamation. The pen manufacturer reminded everyone handwriting involves human input. The judge tried the pen and called it elegant. The plaintiff called that bias. He lost and stormed out, threatening to sue punctuation next. Collectors later bought the same pen model at record prices, calling it rebellious ink. The manufacturer released a limited edition called Lawsuit Luxe. It sold out in hours. The billionaire switched to typing reluctantly, saying creativity is a legal hazard now. 35. A stressed executive sued a meditation app, claiming it interfered with his rage naps. He said inner peace disrupted his productivity and reduced his competitive anger levels. The app company defended calmness as its only feature. He accused them of emotional sabotage. In court, he played soothing music as proof of manipulation. The judge fell asleep halfway through. The jury returned refreshed and dismissed the case with deep breathing. He later founded an app called Stay Mad that plays deadlines instead of bells. It gained ironic popularity among workaholics. He meditated privately afterward, calling it hate balance. Psychologists still quote his lawsuit as proof tranquility needs a warning label sometimes. 36. A grandmaster investor sued a chess AI for checkmating his ego. He argued that artificial intelligence should respect human superiority regardless of skill. The program defeated him 7 games straight. His claim demanded emotional compensation in a rematch under ego-friendly rules. Developers testified that logic doesn't negotiate. The judge asked if losing taught humility. He said humility is outdated software. The jury dismissed the case, but spectators applauded his confidence. He later launched a chess club for sore losers. The AI was promoted to online legend status. He still trains daily, hoping revenge equals victory. Philosophers now call his story the checkmate of pride. Artificial intelligence remains undefeated and polite. 37. A thrill-seeking millionaire sued a hot air balloon company for rising without his permission. He said the takeoff started 2 seconds early, ruining his dramatic selfie countdown. His lawyers called it an altitude assault. The pilot explained wind physics, not rebellion. The judge confirmed gravity involvement. The plaintiff demanded altitude refunds in inches. The jury ruled laughter as unanimous verdict. He still calls it the most traumatic lift of his career. The balloon company offered lifetime flights for therapy. He declined, claiming clouds trigger anxiety. Tourists requested the same balloon for luck. The story became viral under uplifted too soon. He later sued Gravity rhetorically in interviews. Gravity refused comment as always. 38. A Beverly Hills millionaire sued his butler for folding socks with too much care. He claimed the symmetry felt like pity disguised as precision. The lawsuit called it emotional overservice. The butler said excellence is tradition. The judge examined photos of folded socks displayed like artwork. The plaintiff said that's the problem. Perfection mocks humanity. The jury couldn't keep straight faces. The case unraveled faster than the laundry cycle. He rehired the butler under protest, citing dependency issues. The butler published a memoir titled Folded Feelings. It became a bestseller among house staff nationwide. The millionaire autographed copies claiming shared trauma. Their household now hosts weekly seminars on sock humility etiquette. 39. A midlife crisis billionaire sued his luxury watch company, claiming its ticking was too loud during reflection time. He said the rhythm amplified thoughts of mortality. The company confirmed the sound met Swiss precision standards. He insisted silence costs extra. The judge paused deliberately before speaking to mimic seconds. He called it torture. The courtroom clock echoed symbolically. The jury ruled the ticking harmless. He replaced the watch with a digital one, but missed the drama. The company released a silent edition called Ego Time. It sold out instantly. He now listens to podcasts of ticking just to feel alive. The lawsuit remains a timeless example of wealth versus whispering seconds. 40. A casino owner sued a mirror maze for creating too many versions of his bad decisions. He said seeing multiple reflections caused existential panic. His complaint labeled the design morally irresponsible. The maze owner explained that mirrors merely reflect reality. The plaintiff argued reality should have filters for billionaires. The judge visited the maze and got lost briefly, which didn't help credibility. The case was dismissed for visual confusion. He closed his casino the next week, calling it a hall of mirrors emotionally. Tourists started calling the maze poetic karma. It remains booked for bachelor parties weekly. He still refuses to look at reflective surfaces longer than 3 seconds. 41. A collector from Napa Valley sued a bottle of wine for being too French. He said the flavor ignored his American palate and carried an accent of arrogance. The winery explained that grapes cannot change citizenship. His sommelier refused to testify for cultural reasons. The judge offered water instead. He called it an insult to art. The court ruled that national identity doesn't ferment. He declared victory anyway for patriotism. The winery launched an ad saying, "Still proudly too French." Sales exploded. He now drinks boxed wine, claiming freedom tastes simpler. Tourists often visit his estate asking for freedom wine selfies. He charges admission because irony pairs beautifully with profit, apparently. 42. A billionaire guest sued a fireworks company for peaking too early during his second wedding celebration. He claimed the final burst happened before his kiss-ruining cinematic timing. His lawyer described it as premature illumination. The pyrotechnic crew apologized but blamed humidity. The judge called it atmospheric romance gone wrong. The bride testified she enjoyed the chaos. The groom insisted timing defines luxury. The case fizzled quickly like the finale. The company offered him fireworks shaped like patience for the next event. He declined, saying marriage already taught him delay issues. The story trended online as Boomgate. The couple divorced before appeal. Fireworks still explode on schedule everywhere, except his ego occasionally. 43. A property mogul sued his private island for not being lonely enough. He said neighboring yachts ruined the silence he paid for. His lawsuit demanded oceanic distance adjustments. The Coast Guard declined to move water. The judge explained solitude isn't a service. He argued it should be at his income bracket. The jury took a field trip to his island and called it paradise. He said that was the problem. The verdict ruled the sea innocent. He bought noise-canceling palm trees afterward. Tourists later visited the island, calling it the loudest quiet on Earth. The case became a travel slogan accidentally. He still meditates there, claiming the waves gossip too loudly. 44. A diamond investor sued a gem for not sparkling enough during his divorce hearing. He said dull reflection weakened his emotional armor in court. The jeweler testified diamonds don't perform under stress. The judge shined a flashlight, proving the sparkle fine. He argued emotional lighting requires loyalty. The case was dismissed for lack of glow evidence. He pawned the diamond and bought sunglasses, ironically. The jewelry store released an ad reading, "Shines even through breakups." It became viral. He still blames the gem for his ex-wife's victory. Photographers now refuse flash around him out of respect. The diamond remains on display labeled Evidence Exhibit A of glitter trauma. It's very bright, ironically. 45. A millionaire inventor sued his self-driving car for apologizing too much. The vehicle's polite voice said, "Sorry," after every traffic light. He called it psychological manipulation by technology. Engineers explained the car followed courtesy protocols. He claimed constant remorse eroded his dominance. The judge rode in the car and enjoyed the manners. The plaintiff shouted that robots shouldn't out-polite humans. The case was dismissed for emotional absurdity. The company added a sarcasm mode in future updates. He later regretted not patenting politeness. The car still says sorry to him out of habit. He yells, "Stop apologizing," during every drive. Pedestrians wave cheerfully, calling it comedy traffic. Courtesy finally became road entertainment. 46. An art collector sued a painting for staring at him while he ate cereal at 3 in the morning. He said the portrait's gaze triggered guilt over carbs. The museum curator argued that still art can't observe diets. He brought the canvas into court wrapped dramatically. The judge examined it and said the eyes followed everyone equally. He demanded emotional privacy damages. The case was thrown out for haunting insecurity. The artist thanked publicity and sold new prints titled Breakfast Judgment. They sold out in hours. The collector covered his walls with curtains claiming peace restored. He now eats cereal blindfolded. Critics call him the father of modern paranoia appreciation. 47, a tech billionaire, sued the handshake gesture for transferring bad vibes during networking events. He said physical contact contaminated his motivational frequency. The lawsuit named humanity as co-defendant symbolically. The court accepted for entertainment value. Scientists testified handshakes spread germs, not emotions. He insisted energy exchange is measurable spiritually. The judge offered a fist bump compromise. He called it cultural theft. The jury ruled unanimously in favor of logic. He launched a startup promoting virtual handshakes via holograms. Investors joined ironically. It failed due to low-touch appeal. The case inspired conference memes nationwide. He still waves awkwardly at everyone. Psychologists say closure sometimes requires actual contact, ironically, physical. 48. A fashion mogul sued his passport for making him look suspiciously rich in economy class. He claimed border agents gave extra attention to its diamond-studded cover. Customs called it self-inflicted luxury. The judge agreed, saying discretion travels faster. He argued freedom of sparkle is a right. The courtroom cameras loved every angle. The jury took selfies with the passport before dismissal. He replaced it with leather plain, but gold inside. He called it humble chic. Airports now use his story in training videos about subtlety. He still avoids economy flights, yet keeps the diamond passport framed at home. Tourists visit to admire absurd wealth security lessons. Glitter remains undefeated officially. 49. A retired millionaire philosopher sued the concept of time for making him older while his money stayed young. He claimed aging violated the wealth preservation principle. Philosophers testified time doesn't accept subpoenas. He called that elitist cosmic behavior. The judge asked his birth certificate for comment. He answered it expired morally. The courtroom laughed into eternity. The verdict declared humanity timelessly ridiculous. He vowed to sue gravity next for career consistency. His story spread worldwide as Clock versus Wallet. Merch followed instantly. He later published a memoir titled I Lost to Time. It won awards for irony. He still celebrates birthdays, wearing a watch turned backward just to feel victorious sometimes. And that's how the ultra-rich turn courtrooms into comedy clubs. From suing clouds to blaming ghosts for credit debt, these lawsuits prove money buys lawyers, not logic. Which one broke your brain the most? Drop your pick in the comments and tell us, if you had $1 billion, what would you sue for? Because on BrainFumble, we don't chase money, we chase madness.